So, forgive me for what I'm about to do.
Outlander, Blood of My Blood Season 1, Episode 3, came to a close as Julia Beecham made a shocking decision. This installment in the Outlander prequel series picked up just after the initial days of the Mackenzie gathering, where the new laird was meant to be chosen. Of course, this monumental event wasn't off to a great start, since Dougal beat Malcolm Grant to a bloody pulp for supposedly kidnapping Ellen in Episode 1. Dougal's rash decision led Colm to offer Ellen's hand to Malcolm Grant in exchange for his support, something Ellen only found out about in Outlander, Episode 3.
All of Leoch is alive, with the happy news that Ellen Mackenzie is to be betrothed to Malcolm Grant.
She was naturally unhappy, since Ellen had just met and fallen in love with Brian Fraser. Marrying this man would be hard enough, given his family and status. An engagement to another only added to the difficulty. While Ellen and the rest of the Mackenzies grapple with all of this, Claire's parents, Henry and Julia Beecham, make desperate attempts to find one another. Ironically, Julia is trapped at Castle Leathers, where Brian Fraser lives with his laird father, Simon Fraser. Though she tried to keep her pregnancy a secret, it wasn't long before Lord Fraser's housemaid, Davina Porter, noticed, so Julia had to act. Julia's decision to go to Simon Fraser in Outlander, Episode 3 explained. Julia crying in Outlander Blood of My Blood, Episode 2, Julia made a futile attempt to escape Castle Leathers. In Episode 3, she finally accepted that she wouldn't be escaping Lord Lovat anytime soon. It's clear that Julia is still determined to be reunited with Henry and her daughter Claire. However, Simon Fraser's maid made it clear that the laird would not tolerate the dishonor if Julia's condition became public. Like Outlander's Claire, Julia is clever and resourceful. She noticed that Davina Porter was Brian Fraser's mother, and when confronted, the woman confirmed that Lord Lovat had permitted her to give birth to his own bastard son. Julia determined that the same would be true for her if she were to conceive a child with the laird. So, Julia entered Simon Fraser's chambers. Lord Lovat naturally has no idea, as of Outlander, Blood of My Blood Episode 3, that Julia is pregnant. So, after they sleep together, he won't question it when Julia later claims that her baby is his. The infant will be safe. However, if Julia wasn't the laird's property before, she surely will be when he believes she is carrying his child. Escaping Castle Leathers will be even harder than it already was. Clan Mackenzie finally has a new laird after Blood of My Blood Episode 3. Seamus MacLean Ross, Colm Mackenzie, and Sam Retford, Dougal Mackenzie, staring at one another in a throne room in Outlander Blood of My Blood. 1. Julia's surprising decision to sleep with Lord Lovat dominated the ending of Outlander, Blood of My Blood Season 1, Episode 3, but it was the chaos at Castle Leoch that took up the rest. The Outlander prequel picked up following the death of Red Jacob Mackenzie, Ellen's father. The laird hadn't named an heir between Colm and Dougal, so it would be up to the clan to determine who would lead. This is an event that we heard about in Outlander. These two brothers have always had a complicated relationship, and we see exactly why in Blood of My Blood Episode 3. Both possess what the other lack, and it was for this reason exactly that Red Jacob failed to name a successor. However, with Ellen's help, Colm and Dougal managed to come to an arrangement. With Colm and Dougal at odds in Blood of My Blood, the way was free and clear for another man to step in and become laird. The only hope was for one of the Mackenzie brothers to swear fealty to the other, allowing their loyal followers to unite and vote against James McKinney. If this didn't happen, McKinney was guaranteed to do away with Colm, Dougal, Ellen, and the rest of their family. Ellen came up with a very clever solution to this problem. Understanding each of her brother's strengths, Red Jacob's beloved daughter discussed a plan with Ned Gowan that would make Colm the official laird, but Dougal the war chief, leader of Clan Mackenzie in times of war. The brothers found this agreeable and ultimately swore fealty to each other. Thankfully, the rest of the clan agreed to the change. Will Ellen still be expected to marry Malcolm Grant? Brian Fraser and Ellen Mackenzie in Outlander Blood of My Blood. Ellen worked things out with her brothers in Outlander, Blood of My Blood, but this far from frees her from the marriage pact with Malcolm Grant. Callum and Dougal are sure to know that it was their sister who made their new arrangement possible, and this may make them regret their use of her. Thanks for watching.